Collin Sexton is available for a sign-and-trade, but the Cleveland Cavaliers aren't interested in what the Dallas Mavericks are willing to offer. The Dallas Mavericks are rumored to have an interest in Cleveland Cavaliers guard Collin Sexton. But the Cavs reportedly aren't very attracted to potential Mavs pieces that could be used in a sign-and-trade. It'd be a really good player for Dallas to sign Chris Middleton. Before going straight to the content, here is the brand new information on the channel is that 3 lucky winners will get a chance to win PS5. Only you have to just comment on your views on this trade in the comments section below. Let's start today's topic. Dallas picks up Collin Sexton. He's a restricted free agent, Dennis is Schroeder, and Campazzo is another option out there. It's slim pickings right now for Dallas and their off-season plan after a really impressive year. I love what Jason Kidd did. I love what Nico Harrison did, and tinkering with that roster and the Kristaps Porzingis trade did unleash Dallas as a basketball organization. The Dallas Mavericks benefited significantly from the impact Jalen Brunson provided alongside Luka Doncic as a secondary ball handler. Spencer Dinwiddie, acquired in the middle of the season, was thought to be insurance in case Brunson left. However, any potential interest in Sexton appears to have been negated by the Cavs, who extended a qualifying offer to him on June 28. In Section 23, he averaged 16.0 points and 2.1 assists per game in 28.7 minutes per game last season. Among the top options still available in free agency, Collin Sexton remains unsigned. The game against the New York Knicks is on November 7th. He suffered a season-ending torn meniscus in his knee after appearing in 11 games for the Cleveland Cavaliers in 2021-22. The injury came after he produced a career year the season prior with averages of 24.3 points and 4.4 assists, with a .519 effective field goal percentage. It'd be a really good player for Dallas to sign Chris Middleton. There are a variety of complications at play when it comes to the idea of the Mavericks pursuing Sexton. The Cavaliers can simply match the offer sheet he signs since he's a restricted free agent. The Cavs would need to be enticed to part with him in a sign-and-trade, so it starts there. Well, it may end there, too. According to Cleveland.com's Chris Fedor on the Wine and Gold Talk podcast, the Mavericks are not willing to part with the assets desired by the Cavaliers in a sign-and-trade centered on Sexton. The Dallas Mavericks have been rumored as a team that may have an interest because they lost Jalen Brunson. Fedor said, they don't have cap space. So it would have to be a sign-and-trade worked out with the Cavs. And I'm told that the Cavs are not very attracted to any of the pieces. Dallas would be willing to send them back to them in a potential sign-and-trade. Word emerged from Sam Amico of Hoops Wire on June 30th that the Mavs could potentially be interested in Sexton, a restricted free agent, if they lost Jalen Brunson in free agency to the New York Knicks. That has happened as Brunson agreed to a 4-year, $104 million deal with New York. What the Cavaliers are seeking in exchange for Sexton remains to be seen. Cleveland already has a lot of big man talent and has loaded up on guard depth this offseason. So it's unlikely they'd be seeking a player in those spots. The Mavericks could hypothetically offer a 3-and-D wing or future draft capital if they're willing to do so. Sexton has made a complete recovery from his knee injury and is ready to play. It just remains to be seen for which team. Based on how the market has played out, there don't appear to be many viable potential destinations for him. Many of the teams that entered the offseason either facing a need at point guard or simply having major cap space at their disposal no longer appear to be in the mix. The New York Knicks focused on recruiting Brunson. While they were among the most point guard needy teams in the NBA entering the offseason, their primary target was clear from the start and resulted in a signing. According to recommended articles, the Detroit Pistons, Indiana Pacers, and Washington Wizards were widely considered among Sexton's top potential suitors. The market has changed drastically to his detriment, and none of those teams are interested. The Pistons ended up being in a prime position to select Jaden Ivey with the number 5 pick in the NBA draft. There was significant commercial interest from teams across the league in trading the number 4 pick from the Sacramento Kings to gain the position needed to draft Ivy. Instead, the Kings stood their ground and used the pick to bring in Keegan Murray. Through a trade to acquire Monty Morris, the Wizards were out of contention for Sexton. Going into last season, they were counting on Dinwiddie to be their answer at this point, but it quickly became apparent that it wasn't going to work. The Pacers are focused on their young core of Tyrese Haliburton, Benedict Mathurin, and Chris Duarte. There doesn't seem to be any motivation for Indiana to spend a lot in free agency, especially on shooting guards. Given the restrictive nature of the market for Sexton, it seems the Mavericks have the nerve to monitor how it plays out. Perhaps they could be creative with a potential framework to sign and trade if things don't come to a resolution with a different team. For now, Sexton remains one of the top names to watch as he has yet to accept a contract. The Cleveland Cavaliers have reportedly made a multi-year offer to retain restricted free agent Collin Sexton, as Chris Fedor reported on the Wine and Gold Talk podcast, Hat Tip Hoops Hype. Collin Sexton, the reported offer is expected to be 3 years and close to $40 million, according to the report. However, Sexton's absence last year allowed Darius Garland to emerge as the team's go-to option in the backcourt. Garland, who earned his first All-Star selection by averaging 21.7 points and 8.6 assists per game, was rewarded this offseason with a 5-year, $193 million max extension. It appears Cleveland still wants Sexton on the roster, but he would clearly have to accept a smaller salary and likely a lesser role on the court. Despite last year's struggles, the 2018 lottery pick has proved he can be an elite scorer. He would be a valuable addition to a team that finished 9th in the Eastern Conference standings last year. There has also been a limited market across the league for Sexton. Fedor previously listed the Indiana Pacers and Detroit Pistons as the biggest threats to sign the guard, but there hasn't been much activity since the start of free agency. If he does not accept the $7.2 million qualifying offer, he will become an unrestricted free agent in 2023. It's unclear what Sexton's future holds, but the good news is that he's made a complete recovery from his injury and is cleared for basketball activities, per Shams Charania of Stadium and The Athletic. Rival NBA executives believe Sexton could make $20 million per year on his next contract. So what do you think of this trade? Do let us know in the comments section below and get a chance to win a brand new PS5. If you enjoyed watching the video, do like and share. And yes, don't forget to hit that notification bell. Thank you so much.